A group that made 56 cents per album sold, and the singer who spent her money on flatware and got called out by Oprah? Money doesn't grow on trees, so what happened when these pop singers lost it all? In 1998, Toni Braxton was forced to face the music with the IRS. The Unbreak My Heart singer subsequently shocked fans when she filed for bankruptcy. Despite her songs topping the charts and her tours selling out at the time, the singer claimed she was not cashing in on her success. According to the Los Angeles Times, the singer generated over $188 million for her record label, but her contract with Lavish Records meant the label pocketed most of it. Her lawyers alleged that Braxton was only paid 35 cents per album sold, and claimed her financial troubles were in part due to the allegedly shady contract she signed. She later settled the lawsuit in 1999. In a 2012 interview with ABC, Braxton admitted to also spending carelessly during that time.
I love dishes and house things, so I kind of lost it a little bit on the houseware.
In an infamous interview with Oprah Winfrey, the host called her out for splurging on Gucci flatware. Despite those early troubles, Braxton revived her career with a sold-out Vegas residency, only to be forced into canceling in 2008 due to health issues. The singer was diagnosed with microvascular angina, which caused her to cancel the residency and once again file for bankruptcy. In 2013, she paid $150,000 to settle her case, per TMZ. Mary J. Blige garnered millions of fans around the world for her personal lyrics detailing the pain of heartbreak. In 2016, life imitated art when she filed for divorce from her husband of 13 years. The dissolution of her marriage didn't end on good terms. In fact, her ex-husband demanded the singer pay him $129,319 a month in alimony. A year later, Blige was ordered to pay him $30,000 monthly plus his attorney fees. The messy divorce and forced payouts hit her pockets hard. Blige even alleged she was flat out broke after the proceedings. In an interview with Angie Martinez, she explained her song Rent Money was about how she was struggling to pay rent. On the iHeartRadio special, she revealed, "I had to give up all this alimony, and I didn't have no more money to give because he had spent it all. So I had to go, I had to go on tour and make all the money back to pay the alimony. I didn't have no money to pay my rent and all this other stuff." While married, her estranged husband also took on the role of her manager and was alleged to have made some shady business moves. Blige accused him of claiming $420,000 worth of charges as travel expenses. However, she claimed the money was actually being spent on his new girlfriend. With an image as extravagant as Lady Gaga, it's no surprise that it takes millions of dollars to bring it to life. The superstar may currently be a singer, award-winning actor, and entrepreneur with her cosmetics line, House Labs. But in her early days of stardom, she found herself in deep debt. During the Monster Ball tour, which spanned from 2009 until 2011, the singer paid out of pocket for her bold vision, investing $3 million of her money on the show's global production and lavish costumes. According to Gaga, that $3 million was all she had at the time, which worried the people around her. In the documentary, Who the F*** is Arthur Fogle, she recalled, "I remember I went home and I was with my dad and he said, 'I don't understand. Bad Romance is out. You are all over the radio. Everyone is talking about you and you don't have a pot to piss in.'" However, Gaga was convinced her risky money moves would soon pay off. The singer planned to have her sold-out show catch the eye of Arthur Fogle, chairman of Live Nation, and hoped he would invest in her. The Bad Romance singer got her wish, and he eventually came along and wrote her a $40 million check. She later landed a deal with HBO, which premiered the concert special Lady Gaga Presents the Monster Ball Tour at Madison Square Garden. After 200 dates, the tour earned an estimated $227.4 million. As an artist, Prince spent his entire career advocating for the music industry to give artists fair pay and full creative control. He fought hard against labels and even went as far to change his name to a non-phonetic symbol as a form of protest. Following Prince's shocking death in 2016, TMZ reported the singer had been living far beyond his financial means. Despite being a musical icon, his refusal to go on lengthy tours meant he missed out on earning millions. Prince also held on tight to his extensive catalog and refused to license his iconic tracks for commercials and movies. His catalog was one of the musician's biggest lucrative assets, which only got sold after his death. Complicating matters was the fact that the singer didn't leave a will when he died, with sources claiming to TMZ that his professional life was quietly a mess. The singer was alleged to have flaked on business deals. Having apparently experienced issues with deceitful legal matters in the past, he was also said to have frequently fired lawyers due to his paranoia of being conned. and that he refused to sign legal documents. In fact, sources even claimed that his finances were left in the hands of young models with little to no experience. The lack of will and mess of money left behind would later cause a 6-year battle in court over his estate, which included his musical catalog. It was eventually valued at $156.4 million. The long-reigning king of pop was an in-demand performer since childhood. Michael Jackson has plenty of hits to his name, and he even previously held the title for the highest-selling album of all time with Thriller. Despite his massive tours, album sales, and extravagant Neverland estate, Jackson was shockingly financially strapped in the early 2000s. When the singer died in 2009, Billboard detailed his dwindling fortune and excessive spending habits. According to the outlet, by 2005, a forensic accountant testified that Jackson spent between $20 million to $30 million per year more than he was earning. The singer faced mounting lawsuits by people and institutions that loaned him money, and by 2008, his Neverland estate was facing foreclosure due to unpaid loans. In 2017, a banker testified that the singer was dealing with a financial disaster before his death. In his testimony, David Dunn alleged the singer was $300 million in debt, which was only worsened by his excessive spending. Dunn attempted to work with Jackson to downsize his lifestyle and increase his cash flow. Dunn testified, saying, "He borrowed a lot of money. He knew he had financial issues. The last thing he wanted to do was tour, so he was looking for other things to generate income to avoid doing what he wound up agreeing to do." Before his death, Jackson announced 50 dates for the This Is It tour, for which he was reportedly set to earn $132 million. Not every artist is successful right out the gate, and 80s icon Cyndi Lauper is the perfect example. In 1978, the singer's first attempt at a music career began in a band called Blue Angel, who released their first and only album in 1980. The commercial flop made the record label pressure the group into making more hits. Blue Angel was also unhappy with their manager, Steve Mesarski, and ended up firing him. He retaliated by filing a lawsuit claiming the group owed him $80,000. Lauper, who was nowhere close to the estimated $50 million net worth she boasted in 2023, had no choice but to file for bankruptcy. Her claim was awarded and the case was finalized in 1983. Despite the lawsuit, Mesarski was still rooting for the vocalist to achieve big things. Mesarski recalled to the Rolling Stone, "The last time I saw her, I walked up to her, kissed her on the cheek, and said, 'Hey, now go make all the money we all thought you could make to begin with. Go become a star.'" Lauper made all the right moves to do so. She went solo and in 1983 dropped her debut solo album, She's So Unusual, which won her a Grammy Award for Best New Artist. Lauper went from a bankrupt budding star to an in-demand artist. Describing how the settlement between herself and Mesarski was finalized in court, the singer jubilantly recalled to Rolling Stone, "The judge said, 'Let the canary sing.'"
Because it ain't over till it's over, and it ain't never over until you give in. And you don't have to give in.
In 1995, TLC shocked the world by filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Just a year prior, they had released their chart-topping album, Crazy Sexy Cool, which made them a household name and one of the most popular girl groups ever. At the time of their bankruptcy, the group declared they were $3.5 million in debt. They alleged that the contract with their label and management had effectively swindled them out of rightful earnings. All the money they were bringing in was taken as repayments for their expenses, which included hair, makeup, production, and travel costs. Lisa Left Eye Lopez famously explained on Behind the Music TLC,
"This is how a group can sell 10 million records and be broke. And everyone get ready to do your math."
She broke down their earnings and revealed the group only made 56 cents per album sold. After deducting taxes, studio costs, and splitting the earnings 3 ways, each member was only left with $300,000 after selling 10 million albums. Despite making millions for the label, the group could barely afford homes. Tion T-Boz Watkins told The Guardian in 2017, "I will never forget the day we were millionaires for literally 5 minutes." TLC sued their record label and management and settled a year later. Following their 1996 Grammy win, the group chose not to remain silent about their experiences and bravely spoke out about their financial troubles to the world. While some child stars are born rich, others end up providing for their family. In the case of the latter, it can be hard for these celebrities to maintain the fortune they generated at the start of their youthful careers. Aaron Carter hit the music scene as a child in the 2000s and had a successful music career that brought him millions of dollars. However, by the time he hit 18, his fortune was completely gone. In a 2016 episode of Life or Debt, Carter alleged that due to excessive spending and mismanagement by his parents, his $100 million fortune disappeared before he was able to legally access it. Carter explained, Before 18, the money went into my mom and my dad's pockets.
They're supposed to be the ones that handle it correctly, but it went to cars, it went to boats, it went to lavish lifestyle. It went every which way except for in my trust fund.
Once he was old enough to access the money, the IRS said he had $4 million of unpaid taxes that his parents didn't pay while managing his finances. Carter explained that in fear of his parents going to prison, he filed for bankruptcy. At the time, he claimed that he only had $917 in his checking account per CNN. He told GQ 3 years later, "I was like, I can handle this. I love my mom and dad, and they are responsible for giving me my career."